So hello everybody, my name is Yannick Patrick Noadi. I'm a Power BI developer, and today I'll be presenting on Philadelphia real estate auction real estate sales. So first of all, I want to meet Jeff and Megan. Jeff and Megan were married and they built up a family of 3 kids. They were living in a small condo in Philadelphia, 2-bedroom condo. And as the kids were going, they were having some issues where they should either rent out a bigger apartment or buy a new house. So Megan was like, one hand, she was like, "Oh, babe, we should rent out a bigger house for the kids to grow in." And Jeff on the other side, he was like, "Oh, babe, no, we should probably buy our own since renting is way more expensive on the long term." And Megan responded, "Buying a house uh, involves too many process, which may even take us long to find a house and be approved by the bank." So the family was having a dilemma whether to buy or rent out an apartment. So thanks to Colaberry, they came up to Colaberry to seek for advices. And since the project was assigned to me, I have asked them first, advised them to look at that, go to the auction, get first familiarized with it, know exactly what's involved and what it is. So I have provided some of the address where the auctions are being held so that they can know exactly what's going on. And some of you guys may be wondering what is an auction. So an auction is more of a way of selling or buying properties. Mostly it involves a group of people bidding on the property, and the highest bidders secure the purchase. So in an auction, you can find pretty much everything. You can find either a house that is being sold by the bank, which means that the owner has failed to pay the mortgage or the taxes. You can find land to buy in, and most of the time it's way more faster than the traditional ways of buying a property. So while I was doing my projects, I was able to come up with the data dictionary. I came up with the data sets that I found on the state website. And I have built up a table calendar and then link up my data set to the calendar table by using more to one relationship. And I have also built up a table refresh date so that the data set may be up to date. So based on the requirements of the family, which basically was they were looking for something that is way more affordable. Also, that may be profitable when it comes to, for instance, renting the apartment or the house when in the future. They're also looking for something, a safe neighborhood, and also something that was close to schools. So I came up with some of the KPIs you can see in here: the sales price, the sales to bid ratio. The sales to bid ratio basically indicate the relationship between the initial bid on the property and what the property was sold up at the end of the bidding process. Also, I came up with the rent estimate as my KPI, the violent crime rate, the school score, and also some of the sub KPIs, the percentage change based on a selection made. So when it comes to my dashboard, this is how it looks. So I have on my left side, I have the year, the sales price, the sales to bid ratio, the rent estimate, the violent crime rate, the school score, and the refresh date in here. As my chart, I do have 3-line clustered chart: month, quarter, year, the property type, and the bedroom. I also have a scatter plot, the rent estimate per property type. I also have a map, the sales price per property. So as you can see, when I click, I make a selection, there is some of the KPIs that show up or hide based on the selection made. So my dashboard has some of the good insight as well as bad insights. Starting with my positive insight, between 2016, September 2016, basically the rent estimate, we saw a decrease of 0.3% in rent estimate compared to October 2016, that saw a huge increase of, I'd say 0.8%, since the rent estimate increased by 1.1%. In the same period, for the single family, we also saw an increase of 16.2% in rent estimates, which is good for people who are renting their properties. In March 2017, we saw a decrease in violent crime rate by 52.6%, which drastically resulted into the sales prices going up by 139.7%. As for my negative insights, in October 2016, the sales price saw an increase of 3.0%, and compared to February 2017, the sales price dropped drastically by 58.2%, which is huge. Also in September, for the condominium properties with 3 bedrooms, there was an increase of 5.6% in violent crime rates, and a decrease in school score by 21.9%, which basically indicated that the neighborhood was not really safe. And when it comes to the school surroundings, there wasn't too many school like for people who have children they can attend to, which means that the sales of the property dropped by 29.2%. The sales price of the properties were affected. Also, for the same period, September 2016, for the townhouse with 5 bedrooms, you can see again there was the sales to bid ratio dropped by 40%, which basically indicates people or potential buyers being less interested into the property. Maybe because of the violent crime rate was high, the neighborhood was not really safe for the people surrounding that area, which also affected the investors, for instance, not wanting to build up school, which may maybe attract people to come live in there, because the school score, as you can see, dropped by 59%. So that's it for my negative insights. So as suggestion, I'll say that, let's see. So for my suggestions, first of all, when the sales price dropping, it is better to identify the changes in potential buyers' behavior, and also see how the change of the demand and supply is affecting the sales price. When it comes to the violent crime rates and the school score, when the violent crime rate is increasing, which means that the neighborhood is not safe, which may even be people who have families not be attracted to be living in there. It is better, for instance, to target people who are less concerned by the violent crime in the neighborhoods, such as people are single, for instance. Also, try to include some recreational activities within the neighborhood so that people may be involved into some other type of activities. Also involve the police to make sure that the neighborhood is safe. Third of all, when it comes to the sales to beat ratio that decreased, taking pictures of the properties and making sure that the property is well appealing to the potential buyers is something good, because people are less tend to be attracted by something that looks good. And overall, when selling properties, it is better to check on the market, the condition of the market. For instance, uh, checking what's the houses, the neighborhood, the houses surrounding the areas, other houses, what they are being sold for, so that the person who's selling the house can adjust the pricing accordingly. So while I was doing my project, I came up with some challenges, such as the complexity of the data, the data set. My data set was found on the internet, so it contained some of the columns that were not really accurate, data that was not really needed. So I had to go onto the Philadelphia real estate to get accurate data. Also, knowing how to what KPIs were needed so that the family uh, may be satisfied by the project, and also choosing the right charts for the family to understand easily the project. So at the end, the family was able to find a beautiful house within the auction, and which is the end of my project. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, they are welcome.